check, but I think that IGN gave Wonder Woman a 9.
They're smoking drugs. Whoever is the editor or the movie critic or whoever needs to be fired yesterday. Like,
So, what did you think? If you had to give it from 1 to 10, let's start there. What would be your ranking?
the movie,
Yes.
1.
Damn, you're
A
brutal.
1.
Okay. So, I'm going to go a little higher, and I'm going to say I would have given it a 7.
You need to be shot now.
Okay, look, we're gonna break it down really quickly.
Gavin Newsom, I'm telling on you. I am telling. You're not allowed to have a TV no more, my guy.
So this is my question: Why did you think it was absolutely terrible?
Okay, I was talking to Felix about this yesterday.
Okay.
I get they were trying to do an 80s kind of theme and a little bit of the cheesy overacting kind of thing. But you're a big time $1 billion studio. Why is Stranger Things doing the 80s better than you when you have 3 times the budget? So you could have made it dope still if you would have had a better team in place. Wonder Woman's 1 was so good that part 2 was so bad that I feel like the acting was bad. I feel like all right, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Wonder Woman.
This is total. First of all, this is not a spoiler free review. This is a total spoiler
super
review.
Spoiler. 1, if you haven't seen it, don't see it. I'm saving you time. That's 1. 2, Shorty, who was the geologist, rock, whatever.
Man, I don't know why.
Whatever her
Mrs.
name
Wick.
is. I don't want to.
Wig.
Whatever.
Yeah, Mrs. Wick.
I feel like
Kristen Wiig, SNL.
I feel like it was like what, like why, like it. They kind of like
thought it was a bad casting for Cheetah.
I feel like they were trying to implement her into the story too much, where she didn't need to be implemented into the story.
I felt like it was the opposite. I felt like they didn't implement her enough.
I feel like she was too implemented, and I feel like it was this cheesy. I'm a dork. Nobody likes me. I could get Q, and now guys want to fuck me. It was just like, no, I'm good. No.
So Cheetah casting character.
Now let's get to the CGI. How?
No. Not the CGI. I want to go cast by cast before we do that.
Okay.
What did you think about the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal? Did you think that he brought it? Because he was supposed to be the all-powering guru and basically the fucking the straw stirring the drink.
I think they try to play on his name more than the character itself. I felt like
he didn't do. It was a weird performance
because they were trying to do this 80s thing again, and they could have done it with taste and grace and kind of really like gotten it there. But they were trying to make this guy like a sleazy salesman, con artist. Kind of thing, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't hitting for me. It wasn't connecting with me.
I think he had a problem identifying with that character.
For sure.
Because it didn't seem natural. It seemed very forced.
Yeah.
The whole easy thing. Another thing, really quickly, I thought it was strange. Not that I'm against having multicultural actors, but what was the deal with him having an Asian kid? Like there was never an Asian mom, right?
Yeah,
like we never met his mom, and then all of a sudden he has an Asian kid, and I'm like, okay. There was no, like, they should have been a little bit more, like, backdrop on that. Like, did he meet an Asian chick and then that fell apart? Like, I felt that they were so rushing the dad shit that it came from nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to be a millionaire and now he's got an Asian kid. I'm like, what? That was weird.
They were trying to make it like he was trying to do something for his, like, leave a
right,
legacy.
Like he had morals, but he was struggling with it and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay.
And then I was like, ugh, the story wasn't all that to me. It was like, all right, he becomes the wishing lamp. Nonsense.
Right. Out of the whole fucking rogue gallery of characters you could pick, you picked some dude that got a rock.
Yeah, like what? And like she talks about, she explains what the ring thing is, but then doesn't know what the fuck where went. She could read every language, speak every language, but then it couldn't break down what the language was in the ring. Like it was this weird thing. Like then she was sad that the homeboy was dead. Whatever, 1942.
By the way, that was probably the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, him coming back. I like him as an actor. Don't get me wrong.
Phenomenal.
Like, it was
He
funny.
saved the day. He
That was
saved the day.
dope. They
Yeah.
implemented him dope. It was no overacting. It
He
wasn't cheesy.
fine delivered it like a motherfucking
But then
beast.
them going to another country, then her saving the kids in the middle of the street, her losing her power, the graphics were so bad. Her like
I know, for such a multi-million-dollar
that's
fucking
what I'm
picture.
saying. Like, how your CGI is that bad? How you see compared to Marvel? Because you're right. You're
That's what you
basically on your competition is Marvel.
correct. There's nobody else in the
Your
building.
baseline is Marvel. Why is the CGI so bad? Like, then she's riding lightning. She's riding lightning to jump on a plane that's gonna take her somewhere. Like,
Yo, bro, I gotta tell you something funny because I wish you were there with us when we watched it on Christmas.
bro,
I had some young guys that remind me a lot of you when you were young, and they're like, "No, that's Spider-Man. No, that's Captain America. No, that's Iron Man," because it was comedy. Homegirl is flying. Like, I was really confused about Diana's power development. She goes from riding lightning with a rope that makes people tell the truth to now flying to making an invisible jet. Like, they rushed so much into this film. I feel like that was probably their hugest mistake.
for sure. They could have.
When
I don't
the
know. They did a
first one,
better
it was very
job.
simple, right? It was a girl that was basically a coming of age movie. She was trying to figure herself out. She met some dudes. She showed what true bravery and leadership is, even in the heart of danger. The character was sicker, and then it was dope, and then it kind of flatlined.
Because even like when she was a little girl,
I mean,
and even when she was a little girl, like the beginning of the movie was kind of cheesy too. Like her sliding down this fucking thing. The graphics were so bad. Her jumping on the horse. Like, I got the moral, you shouldn't cheat to win kind of thing. Okay. But if they also be these badass warrior Amazon fucking things, how is this little girl like sunning them kind of thing? Like, I get that she's special. She's like half god kind of thing. But it's like,
so let me ask you. So this was a couple of things. So I really dove deep into this because I knew we were gonna have like fun with this one. So out of the first two openings, right? Because they were battling, which one would you have picked? Would you have picked the opening in Themyscira? I think I said that wrong, but wherever she's from, Amazonian, or the mall sequence? Because Warner Brothers tried to cut one of those parts. Which part you thought was better? That mall
the
opening
mall one, just because it wasn't as cheesy with the graphics, the CGI.
Okay.
It's kind of
You
like
thought her fucking flying all over the goddamn mall wasn't fucking bullshit too? I was like,
I didn't say it wasn't
what
bullshit.
is going on? So it was less bullshit. Less
Correct.
bullshit.
It was kind of believable because the CGI wasn't bad.
Okay.
When it came to that, but then like, if I found it stupid too, where it's like she doesn't really have a secret identity.
Right.
So like, she's being secret, have a secret identity. Oh, don't say nothing. But she's like still out running around doing shit, kind of thing. Like, it was just weird, like the way they set it all up. And
I'm gonna go even one step further. You ready for this one?
Right.
This is why I think Wonder Woman was okay. I think she's a horrible actress.
True.
I think she's not good. I think they gave her more lines, and I think that she was amazing. And this is gonna sound terrible and feminist and masculine and all that other shit, but just as an actor, when she was in Fast and the Furious, forget about her getting naked. She probably had 3 lines. She sounded powerful. She's tall. She's Middle Eastern. She's sexy. Same thing in the first one. Wonder Woman maybe had 15 lines total. Okay. Now for her to actually act, I thought she dropped the ball.
I said the acting was bad across the board.
I think she was the leader of that shit. Because my man Pedro Pascal was digging deep.
Yeah.
He was
kind of like overacting.
Yeah, he overacted, but he was the only motherfucker that showed up. So in first place, Chris Pine, my man, Captain Kirk, delivered like a motherfucker. In second place is Pedro Pascal. I think everybody else, I would actually put Kristen Wiig's performance over
and then she turned into a leopard cat thing. And then she go and put the armor on. You know, it's like, so she lightning fucking plane.
There was a lot of character development that they should have. They could have made like 17 movies out of all the shit we just talked about.
Like, she jumped on the lightning, plane. Then all of a sudden now she's in a golden suit there. Like, what?
Right.
Like, the golden suit was back in the crib, like back in her office or her house. The golden whatever shit she had. How did she go from downtown chaos everywhere. It's a lightning plane in golden suit.
I don't understand the. So okay, she's flying. She wishes homing back. She turns a jet invisible. She's riding lightning, and she wears a golden fucking bird suit. That's way too much. I think that was
That's
too
supposed
much.
to be this dope ass armor that gets the
Right, and
cat
she
fucks
just
up.
fucking this shit up.
And she's just holding it and she's breaking
Right.
the shit. And it's like,
It held off like 100 dudes, but one chick
yeah, right.
with a
She was like
fucking
1,000 people
yeah,
she
that
was the
died.
last
Uh-huh.
Amazonian, whatever, protecting the people. Blah blah
Yep.
blah. It was pristine condition, but this fucking cat bitch breaks it in 7 punches.
Right.
Like, and then they both in the water. The
Mhm.
cat gets electrocuted, but then she doesn't. Like,
Right. I didn't understand that either. I thought she was dead. That was weird.
yeah, like,
She gets electrocuted. Usually, a person gets electrocuted in water, it's over for you in
yeah,
most cases, right? A la Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns,
yep.
electrocution over. Even though she has 9 lives, she does come back. So maybe that's something that they were playing with. So I didn't really truly understand all of that thing going on, but it was just I just thought it was just so much, so much. um my man Pasquale, like I said, definitely. But this is the thing too, which I feel like interesting. You're not moved by his performance as the Mandalorian, so I think you see him on this too. It just kind of, like you said, it was overacted. I don't know. I think Pine was probably the best thing because I wasn't even impressed about the invisible
Yeah.
jet. Like I'm
What
like, okay, I don't care. I don't
For
care.
whatever reason, DC does a bad job with their movies.
I just think that they try to tackle too much because this, like, Wonder Woman was like the first, like, since, let's say, Tim Burton's Batman, that was like a silver lining in the whole mythology of these characters, and did a great job with one. But maybe the ceiling was so high and they tried to do so much. I mean, that could have been a 3 hour movie. It was pretty close.
You know what it
Like,
reminded me of?
ah,
When you were a kid, right?
mhm,
You watched your favorite cartoon or your favorite movie, let's say whatever the case may be. You would thought, like, I go back and I was watching the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, right?
mhm.
And I was as a kid, I was like Mighty Morphin everything. Like, I'm fucking,
I think everybody was.
like, that shit was great.
It
But
was amazing.
have you ever went back to watch the episode as an adult?
Yeah, I tried. It was brutal.
So fucking bad.
Yeah,
They
that.
went from, in 10 minutes, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger kids went from not knowing how to fight, not knowing what anything is, to being these elite assassins and morphing and getting their droids out. Like, it was just like this major rush when it came to the Power Ranger thing, which it kind of reminded me of that in Wonder Woman too. So it was this bad rush thing that I just thought,
I think if you're gonna bring back a guy like Chris Pine, they should have made that like the focal, and they tried to.
yeah,
But the moment that they walked away from it, the movie just suffered, and the moment that he wasn't in the movie, it suffered. And I think a large reason why one was so good was because he was in it too, and he
mm-hmm.
was like the lead actor driving the force of the film. Has nothing to do with male or female. I'm just stating, how I viewed the project, and it just didn't seem. It just seemed like there was just way too much going on, you
Yeah.
know.
That's what I felt. I felt like it was a lot of things, a lot of nonsense. It just wasn't. It wasn't enjoyable for me to watch as me being a fan of film.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I don't expect a lot of these hero movies to be fucking Academy Award movies.
Sure. But at least be fun. And
Yeah,
it's
like, be good,
yeah,
be
yes.
kind of entertaining, be brass. Don't make me be like, huh? What? What is she talking? Why is he doing that? Now he's the fucking wishing thing. Not now he's doing the wishing thing, but I thought you had to touch them in order
Mhm.
to grant them the wishes. Oh, but now he could just do it on TV. He can go live over the air, and then people are just wishing for things. Like, how did that happen? How did it went from him having to trick you into saying you wish for something and touching you to,
Mhm.
oh, only could be on TV through satellite things, through cameras, and then now everybody can get fucking wishes. Like, how does those two connect? It was
I'll
just
show you.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's weird. We could go real quick. Hold on. I'm almost. Yeah, I didn't, I feel really sad because I bought HBO Max. I wanted to support Wonder Woman. I wanted to support a film that was not only led by a female, but also directed by a female. And I have been spending the last few weeks. I watched Justice League.
Hmm.
I watched Batman versus Superman. I watched Wonder Woman. I watched Suicide Squad. Like all failures.
All
All fail.
DC films are trash.
Like
Besides
I'm really
Wonder
interested
Woman,
in
the
that.
first one.
That was breakthrough, and you could argue that Aquaman changed the
And
landscape a little.
Aquaman was good too. I'll say that.
Fucking entertaining, right? I just finished rewatching. It's called the Ultimate Edition, Batman versus Superman. I thought that was much better, but you know how long that film was?
Like
The
4 hours,
Ultimate
I bet.
3 hours. That was a long fucking time. Okay, you should not take 3 hours to tell me that the movie's awesome.
Yep.
The movie should be dope. You know who makes dope movies? Deadpool. 90 minutes. Fire.
Yep.
Great soundtrack. Everybody gets kicked in the ass. We have a little love scene. The end. Right? When you look at it now, like now we're waiting for the new Justice League. I think if they fuck that up, DC should just pack it up.
For sure. Because then you like with the Justice League, you didn't develop any of the characters the way the Avengers did.
Right, exactly. I think that they were having a hard time with that. And me and my wife, we watched a little bit of it, and this is what we talked about. It's hard to find a Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
And without Robert Downey Jr., Marvel would not be where they're at. And no offense, Ben Affleck, you know Robert Downey Jr.
nope.
So if Robert Downey Jr. is or if Ben Affleck is the Robert Downey Jr. of this universe, they're doomed.
Yep. I could agree with
Because
that.
how you gonna get this guy to tie in all of these storylines when most people don't even like really dig?
See if DC was smart, right? What I would have did was I would have went to Christopher Nolan and said,
Facts.
"Here's a
Yes.
blank check."
Right.
I
Well, they
want you
did
to-
that. They did it. The first three and Superman, Man of Steel, phenomenal.
Exactly.
The moment that Nolan bounced, trash.
Exactly. I would have went to him or his team or be like, "Yo, here's
And
a
a
blank
copy.
check. I need
Make
you
it
to
happen.
revamp our DC department.
Mm-hmm.
Hook a brother up. Hook us up."
I think that that's their biggest problem. I think the great thing about Marvel is Kevin Feige.
Yep.
He's been in charge for like 20 years. He got it. We got the system down. You can't keep fucking getting new producers and new directors and new actors and new. It's like the same thing about a football team, right?
Yep.
Steelers, 3 coaches,
That's it.
5 championships. Browns, 95, 0. Just to put it. Same thing as DC. DC's had how many versions in this? But for whatever reason, they can tell fantastic stories on TV.
Yep.
They can't figure out how to tell a fantastic story in a movie. They have not dialed that in. And Marvel's the opposite. Marvel
Yep.
cannot tell you a phenomenal story on TV, but when it comes to a film, nail it.
Yep.